As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. Now they were near the village, and there was a lot of crowd going towards the fair. So he saw that so many people are entering into the fair, and he was repelled. He was full of disgust, and sometimes he was attracted also by the confusion of the world of the fair in which he was entering. A street meat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and the crowd pressed around his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets. He heard a sound in his ears, and it was the sound of a hawker who was selling sweets like gulab jamun, jalebi, barfi, rasgulla, etc. Though this shop was situated at the corner of the entrance, and there were so many sweets which were decorated with the leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed, and his mouth watered for the barfi that was his favorite sweet. "I want that barfi," he slowly murmured, but he half knew as he begged that his pillar would not be heeded, because his parents would say he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. So he was attracted by the sweets, and he wanted to take barfi, but he knew very well that his request would not be paid attention. His parents would not buy barfi for him, and they will say that he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. Now again there was another counter. It was that of a flower seller. The flower seller hawked a garland of gulmohar. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped, and half murmured, "I want that garland." But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers, because they would say that they were cheap. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. The next counter was that of a flower seller who was selling garlands of gulmohar flowers, and he was shouting also, and child was extremely attracted towards that. He wanted to purchase the basket of flowers and that garland. He went towards the basket, but he knew very well that his parents would say that these flowers are good for nothing. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green and purple balloons flying from it. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons, because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on further. So again there was a man who was selling balloons which are of many colors, and child was extremely attracted to see the silken colors balloons and wanted to purchase them. But he knew very well that his parents would not buy for him balloons, and they would say that he has become mature enough not to play with these types of toys, these types of balloons. So he moved on. Next, there was the counter of a snake charmer. A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake. So there was on the ground, there was a snake charmer who was playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket. Its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. So snake charmer was playing a flute to a snake which was dancing, which had raised its head in a graceful manner, graceful bend like the neck of a swan, and music was going into the invisible ears of the snake like the invisible waterfall. The child knew very well that his parents don't allow him to listen such type of rough music like that of flute of the snake charmer. So he moved on. There was a roundabout in full swing. Men, women, and children carried away in a whirling motion, chicked and cried with dizzy laughter. The child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. I want to go on the roundabout, please, father, mother. So there was a swing, roundabout swing, and the child saw that the many people were swinging on it in the whirling motion of the roundabout. They were laughing and shouting. The child was watching them with great care. Very carefully he was watching them, and finally he made a bold request. He spoke loudly to his parents that, father and mother, I want to ride on the swing. But students, what happened next? There was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there. Ahead of him, he turned to look on either side. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. There was no reply of his parents. He turned to look at his parents in front of him. He looked them here and there, up and down. On every side he looked, but there was no sign of them. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in fear. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither in all the directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wailed, he cried. His yellow turban came untied, and his clothes became muddy. So his throat was choked. He was shouting, tears were coming out from his eyes.